teaching the word. Don't go out to camp, you scared. Put up my friends, get fly like a bird. We keep the commandments, don't know what you heard. Pull out some scripts like I'm a director. I stay with my sword, I'm ready whenever. It's the end of the world.
Read that.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
So the Bible says the truth is going to make you what? Free, right? So check this out. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Who is this? Jesus. Who is that? Jesus, right? So let's see. Because the Bible said the truth going to make you free. Guess what? God left a description of his son in the Bible, right? So when we get a description out of the Bible, are we going to believe what we were taught, or are we going to believe what the Bible says?
Right.
Which one? We're going to believe what the Bible says, right, sis? Check this out. Read that 1 and 1.
Revelation 1 and 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So this is the revelation or the revealing of Jesus Christ, right? Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and heard behind me a great voice.
He said, John said, this is John the Revelator. He actually walked with Christ. He said, I heard behind me a great voice. Read.
As of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest, write in a book.
Who's the Alpha and the Omega? That's Jesus, right? He said, what you see, what you're about to see, write it in a book. Watch this, read.
And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
Now John said, I turned around to see the voice that spake with me. Because a lot of people will say, oh, this was a vision that he saw. No, John said, I turned around to see, right? Verse 14, this is what he saw.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So I got two pictures right here. This one right here and this one. Which one of these two pictures got white, woolly hair? This one right here? Right. So we're going to do like baseball. Strike 3 and you out. So that's already strike 1 on this guy, right? Read on.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
He said his eyes was red like fire. Because Christ, when you read the Bible, it tells you that he drank wine. His eyes will be red with wine. Right, Wait, it's only going to take 1 more second, sis. What? So these two pictures right here, you can look and see the red of this eyes. Man's eyes is red, right? So that's strike 2 on this guy. Watch this. Read.
And his feet.
Sis. He said, sis, look. Sis, look. He said his feet. Right? Read.
Like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? What color is brass? Brown, right? Brown. So he said his feet was brown. Do this guy look like he got brown feet? So that's already strike 3. But watch this. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace.
Sister right here, sis. If you burn anything, what color is going to turn? Black. So if Jesus Christ's feet was black, what color was his hands? What color was his face? What color was Jesus? So who is this? That's well, I'm going to tell you this. He's not made up. He's an actual real man, right? His name is Caesar Borgia. He's the son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. What church does the Pope control? Catholic Church, right? So guess what? The Pope Alexander VI of the Catholic Church paid Leonardo da Vinci. You ever heard of him? He paid Leonardo da Vinci to paint a picture of his son as Jesus Christ. And Leonardo da Vinci, you ever heard of Michelangelo, the Ninja Turtles? Those are all the famous painters that was hired by the Catholic Church to white out all the black images and paint all of the images white. It's called iconoclasm, right? So now, this man right here, Caesar Borgia, he was a murderer, he was a rapist, and he was a homosexual. And he actually had a homosexual relationship with Leonardo da Vinci. And this is who the Catholic Church got everybody worshiping as Jesus Christ. Now, I'm going to ask you something. the majority of my Hispanic brothers and sisters, what church do they belong to? Catholic. Now, I'm going to give you a little history on it. You ever heard of Christopher Columbus? What did he do? Supposedly discovered America. But the Aztecs, you ever heard of them? The Mayans, the Incas, your ancestors, they were already here.
That's right.
But guess what else Columbus brought? Who else Columbus brought with him? He brought Catholic priests with him. And this is what they did. They said, this is your Jesus now. You worship this or you die. And then what they did, these are pictures right here. These are the Spaniards, Columbus and them. They enslaved your ancestors. Sent a lot of them back to Spain on slave ships. You see that? So that's how your ancestors became Catholic, through slavery.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
You know what I'm saying? And the Catholic Church, I'm going to show you something. You ever heard of Moses? What did he do? Split the Red Sea. Now watch this. After he split the Red Sea, and he freed the Israelites, right? What were they doing in Egypt? They were slaves. Watch, I'm going to show you something. This is what Moses told the Israelites after they left Egypt. Watch this, read.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses told the children of Israel, if y'all don't keep the commandments, curses gonna come upon y'all. Curse a good or a bad thing? Huh? Bad, right? Now listen what he said about these curses. Verse 46.
Verse 46. And they,
these curses,
shall be upon thee for a sign.
What does a sign do? Shows you something, right? So Moses told the Israelites, these curses are going to be upon y'all for a sign. Meaning, watch, read on.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
What is your seed? A man's seed is his what? His children. So they said they're going to be upon your children forever as a sign, right? Because today, if I ask you, who are the Israelites today? What would you say? Nobody knows, right? But there's some people over there in Israel right now that call themselves Jews, right? They bombing the Palestinians, killing all them babies, right? So let's see. Moses said the Israelites was going to have curses on them. So that means those people over there would have to fit these curses, right?
Right.
Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Moses told the Israelites in the future, y'all going to be cursed in the city. When you go to any city in America, better yet on the planet, and you go to the hood, the ghetto, the poverty-stricken areas, what race of people mostly live there? And who else? Us, right? Mind you, Moses talking to the Israelites. Read on.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
He said, cursed are you going to be in the field. My sister, who picked cotton for hundreds of years for free? My sister, who's still in them fields right now? Picking watermelons, strawberries, blacks and Mexicans, right? You see that? Now, mind you, Moses talking to the Israelites. Verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
He said your sons and daughters gonna be given to another race of people. This talking about slavery. I'm gonna show you how we know. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
He said you just gonna be crying all day. Watch this, read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
He said it ain't gonna be nothing y'all gonna be able to do about it either. Did they do that to our kids? Right now, sister, at the border with ICE, what they doing to them kids down there? They locking them up in cages, right? Do we have the power to go get our children? God said it ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it, right? Watch this, verse 48.
Verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
He said, because y'all don't want to keep the commandments, you're going to have to serve your enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
And God allowed it. Read.
In hunger.
Today, when we want food, where do we get it from? Huh? Who? Well, you gotta buy it from who? Right. That's who owns United. That's who owns Walmart. That's who owns Whataburger. But the God called him your what? Read it.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You heard that? Watch this, read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
In hunger for food.
And in thirst.
Come on up, my sister. Look, this is what I'm teaching my sister them right here. God told the children of Israel that if they didn't keep the commandments, curses was going to have to come up on them. And my sister, we just read right here that we would have to go to our enemies for, the Israelites would have to go to their enemies for food. Who do we get our food from, sis? The white man. Read on.
And in nakedness.
In clothing. When we want clothes, who we get them from? Our kids out here killing each other for Gucci, Louis, Balenciaga. Who own all of that? Who are we making rich with all that? Read.
And in want of all things.
He said, in everything you want, you're going to have to go to your enemy. When we want education, where we get it from? Where do we get religion from? You know what I'm saying? When you want that car you got, who you had to get it from? You got to get a birth certificate. Even for us, when we die, we got to go to them to get a death certificate. They even say that we dead. You see that? Read.
And
that same enemy, the so-called white man, gonna do what?
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Did they put yokes of iron on our neck? Did they put us in chains? Read.
Until he hath destroyed thee.
The Bible says until he has destroyed you. We don't got the chain around our neck no more, but are we destroyed? We destroyed. Everywhere you go on the planet Earth and you see the blacks and the Mexicans, we at the bottom.
Right.
We don't know who we are. We don't know where we come from. Our history has been taken from us. We run around thinking we Catholics, when Catholics was the people that put us in slavery. When you learn history, you will read about the Papal Bulls of 1455. That was when the Pope and Queen Elizabeth, they signed basically a law legalizing our enslavement. You see that? But that's the history they took from us. So now we don't know that. But watch this, verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, we was just talking about they just left Egypt, right? God split the Red Sea. They walked through. And what were they doing in Egypt? All right. So now watch this. Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So when Moses told them that, what you think the first thing they thought? We're going to go back into what? Slavery. Egypt is a word that means bondage, right? Watch, read on.
With ships.
How did our ancestors get to America? How did the black man get to America? Huh? Slave ships, right? What did I just say Christopher Columbus them did with the Aztecs and Mayans and took them back to Spain? On slave ships, right? Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
or
again.
Slavery, Egypt or slavery.
Again with ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
The same way I'm telling y'all it's going to happen, Moses said it's going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said you ain't going to see this Egypt no more. You're going to a new Egypt. Watch this, read.
And there,
when y'all get off them slave ships,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
What did they do when they took us off them slave ships? Did they put us on auction blocks and sell us? Yeah. God said you're going to be sold. Watch this, read.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
For slave men and slave women. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
And nobody's going to save you. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question. Moses said all this stuff was going to happen to the children of Israel, right? Everything that we just read, who did it happen to? Happened to us, right? So if Moses said it was going to happen to the Israelites, and this is our actual history, who must we be? We are the Israelites, see? That's what we out here teaching our people. That's what we not learning in church. You know what I'm saying? The Catholic Church has a $3 billion lawsuit against it right now for molesting children for hundreds of years.
Right.
And our people still walk up in there and be Catholic. When Jesus Christ is a black man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The angels are black. Moses is black. The Israelites is black.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you go back in your history, the further back you go, the darker y'all get.
Right.
You see that? And that's what we out here to show our people.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example.